7 layers stand between you and every website you visit. Most IT professionals can't explain them. In 15 minutes, you will. If you've ever tried to learn the OSI model, you've probably experienced this. You open a textbook, you see 7 layers with intimidating names like presentation layer and data link layer. You read the definitions 3 times, and it still doesn't make sense.
Welcome to 3V Learning Center. I'm Kelvin, and in this lesson, I'll show you how to master the 7 OSI layers in a simple, easy-to-follow way. Whether you're preparing for the CISA exam or strengthening your networking knowledge, this lesson will help you understand each layer, its function, and its importance in IT auditing and cybersecurity. Let's get started.
Here's the problem. Most explanations are written for people who already understand networking. And in my work reviewing networks for organizations, I use the OSI model every single week to trace security vulnerabilities, to understand where attacks happen, and to communicate with technical teams. In this video, I'm going to explain the OSI model the way I wish someone had explained it to me, with a simple, everyday analogy, real-world examples, and 0 unnecessary jargon. By the end, you'll not only remember all 7 layers, you'll actually understand what each one does and why it matters. Whether you're studying for Network Plus, Security Plus, CISA, or you just want to finally understand how the internet works, this video is for you. Before we dive into the layers, let's answer the obvious question. What is the OSI model and why should you care? OSI stands for Open Systems Interconnection. It was created in 1984 by the International Organization for Standardization, the ISO. And here's why it exists. Imagine it's the early days of computer networking. IBM computers can only talk to IBM computers. Digital equipment computers can only talk to digital equipment computers. Every manufacturer had their own proprietary way of networking. It was chaos. Like if every country in the world had phones, but phones from one country couldn't call phones from another country. The OSI model was created as a universal blueprint, a common framework describing how data should travel from one computer to another, broken into 7 distinct layers. Here's the key idea. When you send a message, an email, a WhatsApp message, loading a web page, your data doesn't just magically teleport to the other computer. It passes through 7 layers of processing on your device, travels across the network, and then passes through those same 7 layers in reverse order on the receiving device. Think of it like a factory assembly line. On the sending side, each layer adds something to your data, like workers adding parts to a product, wrapping it, labeling it, addressing it. On the receiving side, each layer removes what was added, unwrapping it layer by layer until the original message is delivered. Now, one important thing to know, the OSI model is a conceptual model. It's a teaching and troubleshooting framework. The real internet actually runs on a slightly simpler model called TCP/IP, which we'll touch on at the end. But here's why the OSI model still matters enormously. 1. It's on every networking and security certification exam. Network Plus, Security Plus, CCNA, CISA, CISSP. You cannot pass these without knowing it. 2. Professionals use it as a shared language. When a network engineer says, "That's a layer 2 problem," everyone knows exactly what they mean. 3. For cybersecurity, and this is my world, attacks happen at specific layers. Understanding the layers means understanding where you're vulnerable and where to place defenses. So let's learn the 7 layers. And to make this stick, I'm going to use an analogy everyone understands. Sending a package through the mail. Here are the 7 layers from top to bottom. Layer 7, application. Layer 6, presentation. Layer 5, session. Layer 4, transport. Layer 3, network. Layer 2, data link. Layer 1, physical. Now, before your eyes glaze over, let me give you 2 memory tricks, and then we'll make each layer actually make sense. Mnemonic number 1, top to bottom. All people seem to need data processing. All seem to your application. People, presentation. Seem, session. To seem to your transport. Need to your network. Data. Data link, processing. Physical mnemonic, bottom to top. This one's a classic. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. Please, physical, do data link, not network. throw, transport, sausage, session, pizza, presentation, away. Application pick whichever one sticks in your brain. I personally use the sausage pizza one, because honestly, who forgets pizza? One more concept before we go layer by layer. When you send data, it travels down the layers, from 7 to 1. This is called encapsulation. Each layer wraps your data with its own information. When someone receives data, it travels up the layers, from 1 to 7. This is called de-encapsulation. Each layer unwraps and reads its part. Sender, down the stack. Receiver, up the stack. Got it? Let's start at the bottom, layer 1, and work our way up. Layer 1, the physical layer. This is the easiest one to understand because you can literally touch it. The physical layer is everything tangible that carries your data. The actual cables, the connectors, the radio waves, the fiber optic light pulses. It's concerned with one thing, transmitting raw bits, ones and zeros, as electrical signals, light, or radio waves. In our package delivery analogy, layer 1 is the road. The physical highway the delivery truck drives on. It doesn't know what's in the package, who it's for, or why it matters. It's just the pathway. Real-world examples of layer 1. Ethernet cables, the network cables you plug in, fiber optic cables, data as pulses of light, Wi-Fi radio waves, Bluetooth signals, USB cables, hubs and repeaters, old-school devices that just push signals along. What does data look like here? Just bits, ones and zeros, nothing more. When troubleshooting, layer 1 questions are, is the cable plugged in? Is the cable damaged? Is the Wi-Fi signal strong enough? Is the port physically broken? You'd be amazed how many network problems are literally an unplugged cable. IT support asks, is it plugged in? For a reason. They're checking layer 1 first. Security angle. Physical layer attacks include cable tapping, cutting cables to cause outages, or someone plugging a rogue device into an open network port in your office. This is why server rooms have locked doors. That's layer 1 security. Layer 2. The data link layer. Layer 1 gave us a road, but a road alone doesn't get a package to the right house. Layer 2 handles delivery between devices on the same local network, like delivery within one neighborhood. In our analogy, layer 2 is the local courier who knows every house in your neighborhood. He doesn't know how to get to another city, but within this neighborhood, he knows exactly which door is which. And how does he know which door is which? MAC addresses. Every network device on the planet, your laptop, your phone, your smart TV, has a unique hardware address burned in at the factory called a MAC address. It looks like this. 00.1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, 5E. Think of the MAC address as the serial number on your front door. It never changes, and it uniquely identifies your specific device on the local network. What happens at layer 2? Data gets packaged into units called frames. Each frame gets labeled with the source and destination MAC addresses. Error checking is added, so the receiver can tell if the frame got corrupted in transit. The key device at layer 2, the switch. A switch is like the neighborhood mail sorter. When a frame arrives, the switch reads the destination MAC address and forwards it out the exact port where that device lives. It maintains a table, basically a neighborhood directory, of which MAC address is connected to which port. Real-world examples of layer 2. Ethernet. The protocol, not just the cable. Wi-Fi, 802.11 at the frame level. Network switches, MAC addresses. Troubleshooting at layer 2. MAC address conflicts, switch port failures, VLAN misconfigurations. Security angle. This is where attacks like MAC spoofing happen. An attacker fakes their MAC address to impersonate a trusted device. There's also ARP poisoning, where an attacker tricks the network into sending traffic to them instead of the real destination. In my audits, checking switch security and port controls is a standard layer 2 review. Layer 3. The network layer. Here's where things get interesting. Layer 2 could deliver within one neighborhood, but what if your package needs to go to another city? Another country? That's layer 3. This is the layer that connects different networks together and finds the best route between them. This is, quite literally, the layer that makes the internet, interconnected networks, possible. In our analogy, Layer 3 is the entire postal system plus GPS. It reads the full mailing address, city, state, zip code, and figures out the route, which postal hubs the package should pass through to reach a completely different neighborhood. And the address system at Layer 3? IP addresses. You've seen these. 192.168.1.10, or the newer, longer IPv6 versions. Here's a distinction that confuses beginners, so let me make it crystal clear. MAC address, Layer 2. Where your device's permanent serial number never changes, identifies who you are. IP address, Layer 3. WARS, your current mailing address, changes based on where you connect, identifies where you are. If you take your laptop from home to a coffee shop, your MAC address stays the same, but you get a new IP address because you're at a new location on a new network. What happens at Layer 3? Data gets packaged into units called packets. Each packet gets labeled with source and destination IP addresses. Routing decisions are made. What's the best path to reach that destination? The key device at Layer 3, the router. A router is the GPS-equipped postal hub. It looks at each packet's destination IP address and decides, which direction do I forward this to get it closer to its destination? Your home router does this. So do the massive routers run by internet providers that move traffic between cities and continents. Every time you load a website, your packets might hop through 10, 15, 20 routers to get there. Each router makes an independent routing decision. Real-world examples of Layer 3. IP, Internet Protocol, both IPv4 and IPv6. Routers, ICMP, the protocol behind the ping command. Troubleshooting at Layer 3. Wrong IP configuration, routing failures. This is what you're testing when you ping something. Can I reach that IP address? Security angle. Layer 3 is home to IP spoofing, faking a source IP address, and many denial-of-service attacks that flood targets with packets. It's also where firewalls do a big part of their job, blocking or allowing traffic based on IP addresses. When I audit firewall rules, I'm largely auditing Layer 3 controls. Layer 4, the transport layer. Okay, Layer 3 can route your package across the world, but it makes no promises. Packets can get lost, they can arrive out of order, they can get corrupted. Layer 4 is about delivery service quality. How should this data be delivered? With guarantees or with speed? In our analogy, Layer 4 is choosing your shipping option. Option 1, registered mail with tracking and signature confirmation. Every package is tracked. If one goes missing, it's resent. Packages are numbered so they can be reassembled in the right order. Slower, but guaranteed. That's TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. Option 2, dropping postcards in the mailbox. Fast and cheap, no tracking. If a postcard gets lost, oh well, no one checks. That's UDP, User Datagram Protocol. When is each used? TCP, reliable, ordered, guaranteed. Loading websites. You need every piece of the page. Email. You can't have words missing from a message. File downloads. A file with missing chunks is corrupted and useless. UDP. Fast, no guarantees. Video calls. If one frame drops, you don't want the call to pause and resend it. Just keep going. Online gaming. Speed matters more than perfection. Live streaming. Same idea. A tiny glitch is better than buffering. Here's the intuition. If losing a piece of data would break the result, use TCP. If speed matters more than perfection, use UDP. Layer 4 also introduces port numbers. Here's the problem. Ports solve. Your computer has one IP address, but you're running many applications. A browser, email, Spotify. When data arrives at your IP address, how does your computer know which application it belongs to? Ports. In our analogy, the IP address gets the package to the right building. The port number is the apartment number that gets it to the right resident. Famous port numbers worth memorizing. These are on every cert exam. Port 80, HTTP, unencrypted web traffic. Port 443, HTTPS, encrypted web traffic. Port 25, SMTP, sending email. Port 53, DNS, domain name lookups. Port 22, SSH, secure remote access. What data is called here? At layer 4, data units are called segments for TCP, or datagrams for UDP. Security angle. Layer 4 is huge for security. Port scanning, where attackers probe which ports are open on your systems, is usually step 1 of an attack. Every open port is a potential door. When I audit an organization, reviewing which ports are open and whether they need to be open is fundamental. Close the doors you don't use. That's layer 4 hygiene. Quick check-in. We've covered the bottom 4 layers: physical, data link, network, transport. These are sometimes called the lower layers, and they're all about moving data. The top 3 layers are all about the data itself, and they go fast, so stay with me. Quick reminder, if this is finally making the OSI model click for you, hit subscribe. 3V Learning Center posts new IT and cybersecurity tutorials every week, and it genuinely helps the channel reach more learners like you. Alright, Layer 5. Layer 5, the session layer. The session layer manages conversations between devices. It opens them, keeps them alive, and closes them properly. In our analogy, let's switch briefly from packages to phone calls, because it fits better here. A session is like a phone call. You dial and the other person answers. Session established. You talk back and forth. Session maintained. You say goodbye and hang up. Session terminated. The session layer handles that entire lifecycle. Real-world example you experience daily. When you log into your online banking, a session is created. You do your banking. If you walk away for 10 minutes, you get logged out automatically. Your session has expired. That's the session layer at work. The bank deliberately keeps sessions short so that if you walk away from your computer, an attacker can't sit down and access your account. Other things the session layer handles. Keeping multiple sessions separate. You can have Gmail, YouTube, and your bank open simultaneously, and the data never gets mixed up between them. Checkpointing. For large transfers, setting recovery points. So if the connection drops, you resume from the checkpoint instead of starting over. Security angle. This layer is where session hijacking happens. An attacker steals your session token, essentially picking up your phone call mid-conversation and pretending to be you. It's why websites use secure session cookies and why session timeouts exist. When you hear the attacker stole the user's session, that's a layer 5 attack. Layer 6, the presentation layer. This layer has one job: make sure data is in a format the receiving application can understand. It's the translator and formatter of the stack. In our analogy, imagine sending a letter to someone in Japan. The presentation layer is the translator who converts your English letter into Japanese before delivery, and translates the reply back into English for you. The presentation layer handles 3 things. 1. Translation and formatting. Character encoding, like ASCII or Unicode, so text displays correctly. File formats like JPEG, PNG, MP4, GIF are defined at this layer. When your browser knows how to display a JPEG image, that's presentation layer work. 2. Compression. Shrinking data to travel faster, like vacuum packing a package so it ships cheaper, then decompressing it on arrival. 3. Encryption and decryption. This is the big one for security. When you visit a website with HTTPS, that little padlock in your browser, your data is being encrypted at the presentation layer using TLS, transport layer security. Your credit card number gets scrambled into unreadable ciphertext before it leaves your computer, travels across the internet as gibberish, and only gets decrypted when it reaches the legitimate server. In our analogy, it's like writing your letter in a secret code that only the intended recipient has the key to decode. Anyone who intercepts the letter along the way sees nonsense. Real-world examples of Layer 6, TLS SSL encryption, the S in HTTPS, JPEG, PNG, GIF, MP4 formats, ASCII and Unicode text encoding, compression formats. Security angle. This layer is why we spent time in earlier videos telling you to look for HTTPS and the padlock. Without Layer 6 encryption, everything you type, passwords, credit cards, messages, travels the internet in plain, readable text. Anyone in the middle can read it. Encryption at this layer is what makes online banking and shopping possible at all. Layer 7. The application layer. We've reached the top. This is the layer you actually interact with. Or more precisely, the layer your applications use to access the network. One quick clarification, because this trips everyone up. Layer 7 is not the application itself. Chrome is not Layer 7. Outlook is not Layer 7. Layer 7 is the set of protocols those applications use to communicate over the network. In our analogy, Layer 7 is the front door and the mail slot of the house. It's the interface where the delivery finally reaches the resident, where the network world meets the human world. Real-world examples of Layer 7 protocols. You use these every single day. HTTP, HTTPS, browsing websites, SMTP, POP3, IMAP, sending and receiving email, DNS, translating google.com into an IP address, the internet's phone book, FTP, transferring files, SSH, securely accessing remote systems. Let me make DNS concrete for a second, because it's beautiful. When you type youtube.com, your computer has no idea where that is. Computers only understand IP addresses. So Layer 7's DNS protocol asks a DNS server, "What's the IP address for youtube.com?" The server replies with something like 142.250.190.78. And now your computer knows where to send the request. DNS is like calling directory assistance before making a call. It happens invisibly, billions of times a day. Security angle. Layer 7 is the most attacked layer of all, because it's the closest to humans and applications. This is where you find phishing. We covered this in episode 6 of our Fundamentals series, SQL injection, attacking web applications through input fields, cross-site scripting, DNS poisoning, corrupting the phone book to redirect you to fake websites. This is why organizations deploy web application firewalls specifically designed to inspect Layer 7 traffic. In my audit work, application layer vulnerabilities are consistently the most common findings, because this is where complex software meets unpredictable humans. Now let's watch all 7 layers work together with a real example. You loading a web page. You open your browser and type bachmyreevlearningcenter.com and hit enter. Here's the journey going down the stack on your computer. Layer 7. Application. Your browser creates an HTTPS request. DNS translates the website name into an IP address. Layer 6. Presentation. The request is encrypted with TLS. Your data becomes unreadable ciphertext. Layer 5. Session. A session is established between your browser and the web server. The conversation officially begins. Layer 4. Transport. TCP takes over. The data is broken into numbered segments, and port 443 is stamped on them, the HTTPS port. Delivery with tracking and guarantees. Layer 3. Network. Each segment becomes a packet, labeled with your IP address and the server's IP address. Routers across the internet read these labels and pass your packets hop by hop toward the destination. Layer 2. Data link. On each local network segment along the way, packets are wrapped in frames with MAC addresses for local delivery, passing through switches. Layer 1. Physical. Everything is converted into actual signals, electrical pulses through copper, light through fiber, radio waves through the air, and physically transmitted. Then, at the web server, the whole thing happens in reverse, up the stack. Physical signals become frames, frames become packets, packets become segments. TCP reassembles everything in the correct order. The session is confirmed, the data is decrypted, and finally the server's application reads your request. This person wants the home page. The server sends the web page back to you the exact same way, down its stack, across the internet, up your stack, and the page appears on your screen. All 7 layers, both directions, in milliseconds. That's what happens every time you load a page, send a message, or stream a video. Billions of times per second, all over the world. And here's your troubleshooting superpower. When something breaks, work up the stack. No connection at all? Check layer 1, cables, Wi-Fi. On the network but can't reach anything? Layers 2 and 3, switch, IP settings, router. Can ping the server but the app won't connect? Layer 4, maybe a port is blocked by a firewall. Everything connects but the app misbehaves? Layers 5 through 7, sessions, certificates, the application itself. This bottom-up method is exactly how professional network engineers and security analysts diagnose problems. Now it's yours too. One last thing before we recap, because this will come up on exams and in real life. Remember how I said the OSI model is conceptual? The model the internet actually runs on is called TCP/IP, and it has just 4 layers. TCP/IP model, application, combines OSI layers 7, 6, and 5. Transport, same as OSI layer 4. Internet, same as OSI layer 3. Network access, combines OSI layers 2 and 1. Same concepts, just grouped more practically. So why did we spend 15 minutes learning the 7-layer version? Because the OSI model gives you finer detail for learning, troubleshooting, and communication. Certifications test it. Job interviews ask about it. Engineers reference it. Layer 3 switch. Layer 7 firewall. Layer 2 attack. Constantly. Think of it this way. OSI is the detailed anatomy textbook. TCP/IP is how the body actually gets described day to day. You need the textbook first. Let's lock this in. The 7 layers, bottom to top. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. Layer 1, physical, the road, cables, Wi-Fi signals, raw bits. Layer 2, data link, the local courier, MAC addresses, frames, switches, delivery within one network. Layer 3, network, the postal system with GPS, IP addresses, packets, routers, delivery between networks. This is what makes the internet work. Layer 4, transport, your shipping option. TCP for guaranteed tracked delivery, UDP for fast postcards, plus port numbers, the apartment numbers of networking. Layer 5, session, the phone call. Opening, maintaining, and closing conversations. Why your bank logs you out. Layer 6, presentation, the translator, formatting, compression, and, critically, encryption. The reason HTTPS keeps your credit card safe. Layer 7, application, the front door, HTTP, DNS, email protocols, where the network meets your applications and where most attacks happen. And remember, sending data goes down the stack, receiving goes up the stack, and troubleshooting works from the bottom up. Congratulations! If you've made it this far, you now have a solid understanding of the 7 layers of the OSI model, one of the most important networking concepts every IT and cybersecurity professional should know. Today, you've learned the purpose of each of the 7 OSI layers, how data flows from one layer to another, common protocols, devices, and technologies associated with each layer. Easy to remember mnemonics to help you recall the layers during your exams. Practical real-world examples that make the OSI model easier to understand and apply. Remember, you don't need to memorize the OSI model. You need to. Once you grasp the concepts, answering networking and cybersecurity exam questions becomes much easier. Before you go, like this video if it helped you understand the OSI model. Subscribe to 3V Learning Center and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly IT, cybersecurity, networking, cloud computing, and certification training videos. Download our free OSI model cheat sheet using the link in the description. It's a quick reference guide packed with all 7 OSI layers, protocols, network devices, common ports, exam tips, memory aids. Leave a comment below. Which mnemonic do you prefer? Please do not throw sausage pizza away, or all people seem to need data processing, or share your own favorite way of remembering the OSI layers. Ready to learn more? If you're preparing for Network Plus, Security Plus, CCNA, CISA, CISSP, ISC2 CC, or simply building your cybersecurity career, be sure to watch our Cybersecurity Fundamentals playlist and networking series next. They'll help you build a strong foundation for your certification exams and real-world IT roles. Thank you for watching. 3V Learning Center, helping you build practical IT skills, pass your certification exams, and advance your technology career. Keep learning, keep growing, keep securing the digital world. See you in the next lesson.